Good evening. My name is Erica Amans. I am with Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group here in Angola, Northeast Indiana, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. We're just going to talk a little bit tonight about how to prepare your home for the market. We're going to talk about pricing a little bit, and how to position your home in today's market to find the right buyer, that's going to fall in love with your home. So, who this workshop is for, I mean, it's really for anybody that is thinking about selling in the next 6 to 18 months. And if you are wanting to protect your equity, and if you feel unsure about timing or the price, or how pricing works. And so, I just want to go over some of these things to give you clear answers, and not waste your time. So today's market, the reality of it is it has really shifted. We are not in the 2021 market. Um, we are not in the 2022 market. Homes that sold well then are not going to be, you could just put them in the MLS and put a sign in the yard and people would flock to them. But that's just not where we are. And so today it takes a lot more strategy. As a seller, you have to be more proactive. We have to talk about the nitty gritty of your home. And that is because buyers today are much more cautious. They are more educated. They are comparing homes more carefully now. Buyers have time right now, potentially to go through a house more than once. And we haven't had that since prior to March of 2020. So they're being more conservative. Now, it is helping that the interest rates have recently come down. They are just below 6%, which is great for home buyers, considering we were in a market where interest rates were 7.5 to 7%. So, you know, that is something that has shifted. So, why some homes sell and others sit? Most homes that struggle to come down to one or more of these three pillars. It's either going to be preparation, pricing, or positioning. And the great news is that all three of these things are in your control as a seller. Preparation. What do I mean by preparation? So, have your house cleaned. Not you clean it, but have your home cleaned. But before you have it cleaned, you have to pre-pack. Pre-packing is the very first thing that you need to do. Take down any family pictures. You want to depersonalize the home and create a clutter-free, clean space for the cleaner to come in and clean your home. So that is going to be the number one step, is pre-packing and cleaning. Now, pricing is in your control. We are going to sit down together. We're going to talk about the properties that have most recently sold. We're going to talk about the difference between upgrades and maintenance that you've done since you've owned your home. And then we're going to talk about positioning and marketing the home. Now, that is my job as a listing agent to market your home appropriately, and we can get into all of that as well. So, the preparation pillar, this is not about perfection, but it's about removing a buyer's hesitation. So, strong impressions, strong first impressions are truly what matters. Buyers honestly they make decisions with their nose. I know that sounds crazy. So if they can smell that you have any kind of pets in the home, or what you had for dinner the night before, or what might be in the crock pot for dinner that night, that's a first impression that someone has. So we want to have a clean, neutral presentation of your home, and that eliminates any red flags in a buyer's head. So helping them remove those red flags. And then when you've done all your pre-packing and the professional cleaning, and you've got a clean, calm, collected space, it's going to help buyers imagine themselves living there. And that's what we want to do. Pillar two is all about pricing. And pricing, I hate to see this, it's not about what you paid for the home. It's not about what you need to get out of the home to move forward or what your neighbor got in a different market. Pricing is about buyer behavior and understanding how buyers search today. So the same your house in your neighborhood, you may have one that is very similar to something that sold a couple years ago, and it might have sold for $450,000. That may not be the same market that we're in today. How buyers actually search for homes. So I think this is super important for sellers to understand because buyers search in price brackets. And what I mean by price brackets, they search by $25,000 increments, $50,000 increments. Sometimes it's $100,000 increments, depending upon the price bracket that our target audience is searching. So if a home misses that correct bracket, they may never actually see it. And so if we call this pricing on the bridge, so if you price your home at 449, a buyer that has their search set at 450, they may never even see your home on Zillow or realtor.com because we didn't hit the right bracket. So if we're searching, if we price it at 450 on the bridge, buyers are going to be our target audience is going to have saved searches between 425 and 450, and then the next bracket is 450 to 475. So if we don't price it on that bridge and try to get it as close to that bridge as possible, we could lose momentum. And so then I'm going to have a really hard conversation with you and you're not going to like me. Um, but that's a whole nother segment. But I don't want to ask you for a price reduction. I want to price it right out of the gate because the first 2 weeks on the market is what matters the most. Depending upon the time of year, that could extend to 3 to 4 weeks. It just depends upon where we are in the market and in the year. Pillar number three is all about positioning. Positioning your home is how your home feels online before anybody even steps inside of it. So these are all things that I do, but we include professional photos and videography, clear buyer-focused language. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Chat GPT and Zillow are now like one. Kind of crazy, right? Buyers are searching using Chat GPT. Having a strategic marketing plan and helping buyers create an emotional connection to the property. Homes sell on how they live, not just about features. So, do you have a screened in porch where you like to drink your morning coffee and watch the sunrise? That is an emotional connection that somebody can identify with. So selling and buying at the same time. Oh my gosh, this can get so convoluted and feel so scary because what you need is the equity from your current home to be able to purchase your next home. But often you need to secure the next home before your current one closes because nobody wants to move twice. So this creates a lot of moving parts. Home sale timelines, offer contingency, buyer closing dates, rate locks, appraisals, inspections, school schedules, moving logistics. I mean, you name it, there's every piece of the puzzle that goes into buying and selling a house at the same time. And it can feel risky and it can feel scary without a strategy. So, a strong plan includes strategic pricing to attract the right buyer quickly, clear negotiation structure, and a contingency plan. I have a list of 10 different places 10 different ways to sell and buy at the same time. Understanding bridge, rent back, or extended possession options, Early communication with your lender and all parties involved is so important. With planning, this becomes coordination and not chaos. Common seller mistakes can be waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. It's your life. Overpricing and chasing down the market, over improving instead of simplifying your home, letting emotions override data. Sellers lead with clarity and not urgency. So we need to be super clear about what our goal is. The smart seller framework. So clarity, strategy, confidence, and control. When sellers understand the market, your stress is reduced, decisions are stronger and easier, and your equity is protected. So, what does a smart plan look like? Well, every strong sale starts with a realistic market view, a preparation roadmap, a pricing strategy, and a positioning plan. There are no two homes or sellers that are the same. So I want to open this up to a few questions and answers. Things that I do offer is a free home valuation strategy session, a personalized preparation plan, and a market positioning conversation for you that's customized. So I do have a couple of questions in the chat. One of those questions is how much is my home actually worth? I hear this all the time. Well, I saw on Zillow, my home says it's worth this. Well, one, Zillow has a huge swing. It's about a 40% swing of their accuracy because they get their information from public records that they get from agents. So what you're seeing on Zillow may not be accurate. And then what do I actually need to do to get my house ready? So the first thing is I would pre-pack. I would contact an agent and I would contact any contractor, handyman that you know, if you have things that just need a little sprucing up, an outlet doesn't work, or there's an area that needs to be repainted because the dogs wore off the paint, those types of things. That's where I would start. If you have any additional questions, my name's Erica Amans, and I would be happy to schedule a time to meet with you specifically in your home to talk about your life plan and what is going to work best for you. So I just want to thank you so much for logging in this evening. Thank you for your questions. I do host these seller seminars on the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And then I am starting my Buy Smart seminars, and those will be on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. And it will be in the same format. So again, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward for a private invitation into your home.